about 2 months ago, I was just gonna kill myself. Then I realized when I get the point across, like, how much the world is. So then I was like, might as well just kill a couple kids and then off myself, so.
Have you ever wondered what goes on in the minds of criminals when they're faced with the heat of interrogation? Imagine the pressure, the tension, and the secrets that lie just beneath the surface. What drives criminals to confess in the blink of an eye? Is it guilt, the fear of being caught, or something deeper? Join us as we delve into the psychology behind these lightning-fast confessions and uncover the astonishing techniques that detectives employ to turn the tables. Meet Quantrill Schwarz, the escape artist of crime. In a jaw-dropping twist, his interrogation concluded in mere seconds, but not in the way you'd expect. Back in 2018, on October 16th, the clock struck 11 a.m. when law enforcement nabbed Schwarz on West Beloit Street in Norfolkville. Accused of a heinous crime, he clearly wasn't keen on a conviction. Swiftly transported to the Rock County Sheriff's Office Detective Bureau, the stage was set for the questioning.
Just a minute.
Can I take this off or not?
Just give me a minute.
But in a blink and you miss a moment, Schwarz found himself alone in an interview room, unguarded and locked in. Capitalizing on this unbelievable opportunity, he jumped out through a second-story window and vanished into thin air. Around 14 minutes later, the detective comes to check on Schwarz, probably for questioning him. Can you imagine his shock when he finds an empty interrogation room?
Oh, no. F***ing way.
Detectives launch a frantic manhunt, sharing intel with law enforcement buddies far and wide. Hours ticked by until around 3:30 p.m. when Janesville's finest cracked the code. Schwarz was cornered in the 700 block of Yuba Street, like a cat that thought it could outsmart the dogs. But what were his initial charges, you ask? Hold your breath. They were serious, including second-degree sexual assault, strangulation, suffocation, and battery. And the Great Escape? It earned him an additional charge, this time for, you guessed it, escape. From interrogation room to fugitive to captive, Schwarz's tale is one for the record books. Remember, not all great escapes end in victory. Next up, meet Raymond Gates, the how-to guide on landing yourself behind bars in record time. Brace yourselves, it's a roller coaster. Raymond's story kicks off with a shocking incident. A 17-year-old girl was sexually assaulted. A puzzle for the police.
As Lonina and the victim were friends who met Gates by chance, that he approached them and plied them with alcohol.
This child is not a rapist. This was a horrible situation in which she found herself. The rapist was in court, and it's not my call.
Gates' partner in crime, 18-year-old Marina Lonina, decided to document this horrifying incident using the popular social media app Periscope.
With her hair hanging down and in jail attire, high school student Marina Lonina appeared before our cameras for the first time. The 18-year-old is a co-defendant, along with 29-year-old Raymond Gates, in the alleged rape of a 17-year-old girl.
Yeah, you heard that right. But in the end, Marina pleaded not guilty to her crime.
To meet the next day, which my client's friend, the victim, wanted to do. My client is along for the ride, so to speak. She's in the habit of filming everything with this app called Periscope. Does in fact film this encounter. We've watched it at various times. She's trying to get her friend out of there.
The assault was broadcasted live for the world to see. Can you imagine the shock of those who stumbled upon this unimaginable atrocity while scrolling through their feeds? An individual from New York tips off the local authorities, setting the wheels of justice in motion. Working together, New York investigators loop in the Columbus police, sharing a video that captures the distressing event. A key piece of the puzzle. They were struggling to prove the absence of consent when only snippets of the attack are caught on camera.
With one of them, and she alleges that he raped her.
No, it was consensual.
Raymond says that it was consensual and then starts to provide his side of the story. He also mentions in the interrogation that he knew that the girl was a virgin.
She was a virgin though, so she was like, all right, I'm ready, do what you want, and everything like that. And she was like, ooh, for a second, and I was like, it's cool, baby, it's fine. And then she was like, all right. I was like, you ready? Is this cool? You know, we have sex. She was like, yeah. And then we had sex. There was no.
But here's the kicker. Raymond himself unintentionally let the cats out the bag during interrogation.
She is sitting with you on the bed and stuff. But when it comes down to the point where you're actually going to penetrate her, starting to penetrate her vagina.
Did you know that with the single slip of the tongue, the cops hit the jackpot? They've got Raymond right where they want him. The evidence they needed practically falls into their lap. Swift as lightning, the legal hammer comes down. Guilty is charged. No marathon court drama here. Raymond's racing off to 9 years of prison life. Moving on, meet Ricky Hawthorne, a name that sends shivers down your spine. Tommy Skeens, 52, and Laura Kuchar, 45, fell victim to his malevolent intentions. Detectives believe Hawthorne's unwanted advances towards Kuchar lit the fuse to this horrifying explosion. When detectives arrived at the scene, Kuchar was partially undressed and bore the marks of a brutal physical assault. As if torn from a horror movie, a blood-soaked piece of wood and a discarded condom were chillingly discovered nearby. It's like something out of a twisted puzzle. When the authorities brought Hawthorne in for questioning, he immediately started confessing, even before the interrogation even began.
Turning me nuts with that spice shit, and I couldn't take it no longer. But I don't know who came behind me. They was living. But I don't know after I left.
And remember this, okay? I wasn't there, okay?
I wasn't either, but I don't know.
Listen to what I'm saying. So like that.
He then sat down with the detectives, and they started reading him his rights and asked him whether he wants to answer without an attorney. He answers with a no and tells them that he was on drugs, but the side effects are starting to wear off of him. And that, my friends, is a record-breaking confession. Quick as lightning, unexpected as a surprise party. His guilt was crystal clear, sealing his fate with not one, not two, but 3 life sentences. In this next case, there are no confessions, but it's a masterclass in how to handle the hot seat. Our spotlight is on an 18-year-old who found himself on the wrong side of the law after hitting a cop with his car.
Okay. It is a criminal investigation. Obviously, you're not free to go because you have warrants for your arrest. I'm going to read your Miranda because it's very important you understand your rights. Okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
No tricks, no fancy maneuvers, just a straightforward conversation. But here's the kicker.
I'm sorry? Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now? You don't want to talk to me? Okay, you can call your mom at the jail.
When the suspect clams up and decides he's not spilling the beans, our officer takes a page from the Exit with Style playbook. He walks away. Shifting our focus, we have Jared Murray, a student whose curiosity took a chilling turn. Imagine being so curious that you decide to take a life, just to know what it feels like.
Jared, give me your full name.
Jared Lindrith Wayne Murray.
Okay, and what's your date of birth?
July the 20th, 1994.
In 2012, at East Central University, Jared Murray's sinister plan unfolded. He chose his victim carefully, Janeiro Sanchez, an innocent freshman. Murray's twisted fascination led him to weeks of contemplating the act of murder. Can you believe that? Weeks.
You've been planning this for 2 days?
2 weeks, yes.
2 weeks.
But not with a selected individual, no.
Okay. And when did you get...
It all started innocently. Murray asked Sanchez for a ride to Walmart, offering him $20. Little did Sanchez know, this ride would be his last. As they reached the parking lot, Murray revealed a stolen .40 caliber handgun. Fear engulfed Sanchez as Murray coerced him to drive north of Asher. In a moment of fleeting relief, Murray removed the magazine from the gun. But here's the shocking twist. He had another loaded magazine concealed in his pocket. They drove on to Substation Road, and then 2 shots rang out, changing everything. One missed, but the second found its mark, ending Sanchez's life in an instant. The car crashed into a tree, a tragic end. But Murray's cruelty didn't stop there. He dragged Sanchez's wounded body out, callously firing another shot to ensure his demise, even tried to bury the evidence with dirt, leaves, and a stick. During the interrogation, the detective asked Murray what punishment he deserved, to which he responded with an unbelievable statement: the death sentence. His behavior hinted at some disturbing mental issues. No remorse, no guilt. He faced a first-degree murder charge, but the twist continues. He was deemed not guilty by reason of insanity. Up next, we have a story that unfolded on August 27, 2012 at Perry Hall High School.
Robert,
What's your middle name, bud?
Wayne.
What's your last name?
Gladden, Gladden.
15-year-old Robert Wayne Gladden Jr., with his long dark hair and an air of solitude, walks through the school gates. At 6:27 a.m., he taps away on his phone, updating his Facebook status. First day of school, last day of my life. He writes, punctuating it with an uncensored message to the world.
Same. Just, you don't care?
Yeah. How many friends do you have up at school?
We really only had 2 kids that I talked to. That's Tyler and Evan.
Tyler and Evan?
In a shocking turn of events, Gladden fires a shotgun blast in the cafeteria, aiming for the biggest group and striking 17-year-old Daniel Borey.
Just poured out and leveled it?
Yeah.
Did you just aim for a mass of people?
Yeah, because it was a pretty big group.
Okay.
And I just went like that.
Just went for the biggest group?
Yeah.
Get to both stuff. Okay. Was it a teacher that grabbed you or a student or something?
In the midst of this chaos, Jesse Wassmer, a guidance counselor, wrestles the gun away from Gladden. While being questioned, he confesses that he had thought about only killing himself, and this wasn't the first time. Did you know this wasn't a random outburst? Authorities unveiled that Gladden had planned this, firing a shot at random, while turmoil swirled around him. Underneath it all, whispers of a troubled home life surface, with a father and stepfather with criminal records. Gladden's backstory seemed tangled in shadows. During the interrogation, Gladden is asked whether he'll harm himself if they sent him home, to which he gives a shocking answer.
And let's say they sent you home like today. What, you're saying you would hurt yourself?
And then probably just kill myself.
Okay, let's say you didn't have access to a firearm. How would you try to kill yourself?
In a courtroom, justice is served. The judge's gavel falls. Gladden is sentenced to a life with all but 35 years suspended. The message is clear. The modern plague of school shootings bears grave consequences. Do you ever stop and think about what occurs when suspects make a successful break from the law's clutches? Click on the link to watch our video, When Criminals Actually Escape from the Police.